Soumya ji?
Yes. Yes, Swamini ji?
Yes, I thought...
no, it's just quiet because now the music will start.
Okay. I thought something went wrong in my side.
Okay. Hari Om. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Sadashiva Sambarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru-Paramparam. On this auspicious occasion of Shankara Jayanti, we are celebrating Shankara through Global Festival of Oneness. I extend a warm welcome to everyone for the second session of the first day of the fourth edition of the Global Festival of Oneness. This is a month-long festival of Adi Shankaracharya Bhagavadpada, covering various aspects and topics on Advaita Vedanta. Today we have Swamini Paraprajnananda Saraswati ji, and the topic that she's going to speak on is practicing Karma Yoga in everyday life. We are blessed by your presence and my humble pranams to you, Swamini ji. A brief introduction on Swamini ji. Swamini ji is an erudite sannyasini, well versed with the knowledge of scriptures such as Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Sutra, and other Vedantic texts. Swamini ji is a student of Swami Viditatmananda Saraswati ji, who is the president of Arsha Vidya Gurukulam, Salisbury, USA. Swamiji was a founder Acharya of Adhyatma Vidya Mandir, Ahmedabad, and Adhyatma Vidya Mandir Institute is an institute where learning and disseminating the knowledge of Vedanta happens. And Swamiji is the resident sannyasini of Adhyatma Vidya Mandir. Swamiji has been teaching Vedanta for past 20 years in Ahmedabad and in different cities of Gujarat. In 2016, she conducted talks on Vedanta in different cities of USA, such as Salisbury, New Jersey, and Dallas. Swamiji abides in the knowledge of self and is also an expert in imparting this knowledge to others. The depth of Swaminiji's wisdom and her art of teaching, which is at once profound and lucid, makes her an expert teacher from whom learning is a joy. Swaminiji's experience as a professor of English in the past facilitates her to aptly handle the subject at hand and communicate it to the audience. Besides being a gifted teacher, Swamiji is also a very simple, loving, and compassionate person. Over to you, Swamiji.
Thank you. Namaste to everyone. The topic for today, this evening, is practicing Karma Yoga in everyday life. See, Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita has given us the excellent means to prepare ourselves for knowledge and ultimately abide in the self. Karma Yoga is an excellent means to transform our mind. It metamorphosizes our mind and our total personality. See, right in the beginning, when Arjuna, who has come to the battlefield to fight, and as we all know, he developed dispassion and wants to renounce, and he demanded that, "O Krishna, please give me that yat shreyasyat nishchitam tanme bruhi." He is asking for that which is definitely good in life. In reply to this, Lord Krishna imparted the knowledge of the self to Arjuna. Lord Krishna taught him that, Arjuna, you are not what you take yourself to be, but you are the self, the consciousness, the existence, the happiness, which is not bound by time or space, and that which is one without a second, indestructible, ajo nitya shashvatoyam purana. In short, in many verses, right in the second chapter, Lord Krishna imparted the knowledge of the self, the Atma, to Arjuna. But, of course, it is easily said than done. It was too much for Arjuna to immediately understand this, at the same time to abide in this. Because even though Lord Krishna has given him the view of life, the goal of life, namely consciousness or Atma, which is his very nature, and that it is already achieved. So praptasya praptihi, Atma, the self, which is already achieved, is yet to be achieved, precisely because ignorance has to go. And for that, it calls for a right kind of mind. Any kind of knowledge calls for a prepared mind. In the same way, the knowledge of the self also calls for a right frame of mind, which can understand the knowledge of the self as well as retain it, grasp it, and ultimately abide in this. But Lord Krishna also recognizes that this kind of mind has to be attained. Due to ignorance and the samskaras born of ignorance right from the immemorial time, mind has gathered certain tendencies, raga, dvesha, kama, krodha, lobha, etc., because of which today it becomes difficult to understand the true nature of the self as well as abide in that. And that is why Lord Krishna also shows the way of life, characterized as Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is a way of life whereby one can gradually attain that right state of mind, purify oneself, neutralize the tendencies born of ignorance in the mind, and slowly and steadily abide in the self. So Karma Yoga is a means to transform the mind. And to teach this to Arjuna, Lord Krishna is prescribing Karma Yoga as a way of life. We always have to remember that this is the means by which we have to accept ourselves. As taught by Lord Krishna, Atma is already full. Atma, the nature of the self, is already complete. It is one without a second, and of the nature of happiness. But I do not feel that today. I feel otherwise. Today, my mind and the perception in the mind is altogether different from this. And here comes Karma Yoga as a way of life whereby we have to transform ourselves and own up the nature of the self, which is already achieved. So let us now begin how to lead this way of life by which we can change ourselves. See, Karma Yoga, in that yoga word, is derived from the verbal root yuj. Yuj means to join. Lord Krishna wants us to join to the goal of life through karma. Precisely because karma pervades our life. Our life today and anybody's life is replete with karma, with actions. We all perform different actions. We all play different roles in life. From morning to evening, we are playing so many roles simultaneously. And along with all these roles is attached a script. So the master teacher, which Lord Krishna is, he is prescribing a way of life wherein this action itself, which is there in our life, how to utilize this action to transform ourselves. So without going to woods, without changing our robes, without becoming a sannyasi, without doing pranayama or any other such means, by practicing our day-to-day life, we can transform ourselves, and a day will come when we will abide in the self. This is the means that is shown by Lord Krishna. See, karma or action has two facets. One is while you are performing, and the other one is while you receive the result of the action. Because with action, the counterpart of action is the phalam, that is the result. So whenever you perform an action, you get the result too. Lord Krishna is prescribing a way by which, even while performing the action, we have to practice a certain attitude, and while receiving the result also, we practice an attitude which will be close to the nature of the self. So deliberately, we have to entertain an attitude which will, in course of time, change ourselves. Karma yoga doesn't mean only karma. It doesn't mean mere karma. Mere karma will not do anything. Karma or action, when accompanied with an attitude, bhavana. Karma, when accompanied with an attitude, means bhavana, will change us. Today, when our perception of life is different, we take ourselves to be a limited jiva, a limited being who has to achieve. And at that time, it is quite possible that we have accumulated certain tendencies such as selfishness, demands are there, grabbing is there, competition is there, likes and dislikes are there. Mind is replete with this thing. With this kind of mind, it is not possible to enter the portals of knowledge. It is not possible to understand the self, let alone abide in that. And that is why we have to practice karma yoga in our day-to-day life. And as I said, karma means there are so many roles which we play. And along with all those roles, say father, husband, employer, citizen, different roles we play. Along with all those roles is attached a script. Lord Krishna says, you live your life like before, but now from a different platform. Remember, before doing an action and while doing an action, always keep in mind the reality of the self, namely that you are complete. You are what you are seeking, which means you are already full and complete. This is your reality. Never forget this. Keep this in the background. And now perform the roles and duties which you have to do. But now the attitude and the perception will be of not demanding. Now, by this action, I don't want to gain anything. There is no personal agenda behind this action. But I take this opportunity to give. So far, I have been taking because I looked upon myself as a needy person. I looked upon myself as incomplete and I was out to achieve. But knowledge and the view of life is now changed. Lord Krishna has already imparted the knowledge that you are full. Atma is already complete. Atma is already of the nature of the self. Now you have to own up this knowledge, which means now you have to reverse the process. Now, whenever you perform an action and all your duties, etc., the attitude is not of demanding, but of giving. I take this action or this role as an opportunity to give, as an opportunity to serve, because now I perform from the platform of richness that the Atma is, fullness that the Atma is. Every time when I perform an action, I keep this in mind, keep in mind my fullness, and now I'm out in the world performing my duties wherein the attitude is different. Outwardly, nothing has changed. I'm performing, doing my things, but now the attitude inside, the bhavana inside is entirely different. Now I take this action as an opportunity to spread happiness, to serve the world before me, the world which is nothing but the form of Ishvara before me. I take this action as an opportunity to serve them. So far, there were expectations for personal rewards. I had things to achieve, etc. But now the focus and the priority is to serve, to give. And this is not with a patronizing attitude that I'm giving, I'm serving you. No, I'm not obliging anyone. The Karma Yogi is one who is very conscious that he has to own up the fullness that the self is. And that can happen only and only when each and every thought of the mind, the modifications of the mind will change. All the vrittis and the tendencies of the mind, which were so far characterized by beggarliness, demanding. So far, I was demanding, I was aggressive, I was selfish, I was jealous, I was a grabber, I was a consumer. Every time when I play a part, every time when I perform an action, I would see what is there in it for me. So whenever we perform an action, there are two altars before us. Now, either there is a choice that you have to make. We have to make our choice. And in right choice and in making the right decision, we'll be making our life. We will be progressing. So now when there are two altars before you, either offer this action to ego like before, or offer this action to Ishvara, or to the society, or to the person before you, regardless of who is before you, whoever that is, whether my spouse, my boss, my children, my country, anyone. But now my attitude and my focus and my interest is how I can serve them best, how I can be helpful. So far I was taking, but now with the change in perception, I put myself in the place of giver. There is a shift, a paradigm shift from being a consumer, which I was so far, to contributing. So far I was selfish. Ego was of prime importance to me, I and mine. But now the perception has changed. The meaning of I has now changed. This I is everything. This I is full and complete. So no, I can no more validate the beggarliness tendencies of the mind. I have to deliberately change them. And that can happen with each and every small and big actions that I'm performing. And there is no dearth of actions in life. We are constantly playing roles. At home, we may be mother, we may be wife, we may be sister, mother-in-law, so many things. Moment we step out of the house, we are again teacher, or say employer, employee, so many things. We keep in mind that now I'm out to serve. There is a big shift, but this shift, remember, this shift is going to work wonders with me. Only that will change me, because my goal is to own up the fullness of the self. And that can happen only and only when I manifest my fullness every moment in each and every action that I'm supposed to play. Lord Krishna says, never shun, never run away from your duties. In fact, he said to Arjuna wanted to give up his duty as a warrior and take up to life of sannyasa. But Lord Krishna knew better. He knew that Arjuna is still not ready. He has just listened about this knowledge. He has to bring this knowledge in practice. So karma yoga is nothing but bringing the knowledge in practice. It is an on-ground training. We have to fake it till we make it. So Lord Krishna says, Yajnartha karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhanah. Any action which doesn't have this bhavana, this attitude of giving, will bind you. The nature of the karma is to bind. Karmana badhyate jantu. But karma yoga is that brilliant method by which we have to release, which releases this nature of karma to bind into that which releases you. The same karma, with the attitude of demands, with the attitude of grabbing, with the attitude of wanting, will bind. But the same karma, when done in the spirit of yajna, done in the spirit, yajna means yaj, which means to offer, which means to serve. When the same karma is done in the spirit of offering, then it releases. Lord Krishna then beautifully points our attention to the yajna going on in the cosmos. Each and every element of the nature is participating in this yajna, the spirit of offering that is running in the cosmos. Only human being chooses whether to join in this or not. Rest of the creation is programmed in such a way that they automatically are programmed in such a way that each and every element of the nature sacrifices themselves, offer themselves at the altar of the entire cosmos. Because it is one unit, only human being who is endowed with free will, and because of his ignorance, he utilizes the action for the personal reward, to benefit himself, to become bigger and better. But that was the perception born of ignorance. But now the perception is different. Perception, we never have to forget that. Before we do anything, before we perform any action, we have to keep in mind, go back to the nature of the self. I am full. And now I'm out to serve. Practicing karma yoga in life means in each and every action which I perform, I bring to bear this in mind, that I have to give, I have to serve. The question may arise in our minds every so often that what about me then? If I keep on serving, who will serve me? Now we have to, every time when this murmur, when this question arises in our mind, every time educate yourself that you are not the jiva, you are not the limited being that you have taken yourself to be for so many lives together. You are not that. You are the totality. You are fullness. Fall back upon that. Without that, without every moment reminding yourself, you will not be able to perform your duties and actions in the spirit of offering. The spirit of offering, this bhavana, is so sacred, so beautiful, so powerful that it brings about a change in us. Lord Krishna says, Niyatam Kuru Karmatma. Please do your actions. This karma yogi, in sixth chapter, Lord Krishna says, this karma yogi who has this perception now is similar to a sannyasi. He is similar to a yogi without renouncing anything, without becoming a yogi, that is one who practices pranayama and all that. He is anashrita karma phalam karyam karma karoti yah sa sannyasi cha yogi cha. Lord Krishna says he is this karma yogi who is out in the life doing all his duties, crossing all the T's and dotting all the I's. Life is not easy. Performing your duties is not easy. People are demanding. People want the best. And when they come to know that you are out to serve, you do not react, they may become more demanding. Yes, we have to keep in mind. But now our focus is that I am a rich, I am Atma, which is full. And with this attitude, now I'm performing my duties. Lord Krishna says that when you perform your actions in this manner, gradually, the mind gets neutralized of all the likes and dislikes. And that is why he eulogized this karma yogi as a sannyasi. He says he is a sannyasi, even though he is working in life from morning to evening, doing his duties. He is a sannyasi. Why? Because the element of tyaga, the element of sannyasa, what? I don't want anything out of this. I don't want anything from this for myself, but this is for the benefit of others. I'm offering this karma to the world, to the person who is there before me. I sincerely do this with the attitude, Anena Parameshwaraha Priyatam. May the one who is there before me, whoever he may be, whoever he or she may be, is Parameshwara for me, and let he be happy, he or she be happy by my this action. So, Karma Yogi has this attitude. So, this element of Tyaga, renunciation is already there without renouncing. And he is a yogi too. Yogi is the one, who practices pranayama, who does chitta, who is always careful about chitta vritti nirodha. This karma yogi is also compared to a yogi. Why? Because he's always vigilant. He's always watchful of the tendencies going inside. Every time I'm supposed to perform an action, my duties, I'm watchful. What are the vrittis? What are the tendencies going on in the mind? Am I reacting? Am I demanding? Am I insulting? Or am I serving? Am I out to serve? Or am I out to grab, to demand, to judge? So constantly there is a watch that I have to always be serving. That is why he is compared to a sannyasi, eulogized as a sannyasi, as well as a yogi. This is karma yoga. This is what we have to keep in mind while we are performing the duties. As a result, what happens? They give the example of carding the cotton. When the cotton flower is there, when it is raw, it is full of knots. So in the olden days, they used to card the cotton. They used to beat the cotton. As a consequence, all the knots which were there in the cotton flower would drop off. As a result, the cotton would be very light. And then now you can use it for making clothes, etc. Similarly, when the Karma Yogi began this process, he was full of likes and dislikes and anger and demands and aggression. But now, because of practicing this, because of practicing Karma Yoga with the attitude that I'm serving, I don't want anything, his heart, his antakarana, his mind becomes light, lighter and lighter and lighter. In short, lighter means happiness begins to manifest. He is happy with himself every time he serves and brings a smile on somebody's face. Who doesn't like to be served? When you sincerely serve, when you sincerely give, not only is the beneficiary happy, but let me tell you, the one who does this is more happy. When mother, when mother makes different dishes for us, for children, she makes sweets, and children, eat away everything. Mother is sitting there. She has not eaten, but she enjoys the children and her husband eating. She gets this joy because seeing that her husband and children are enjoying what she has done for them. So what I mean is, in serving, there is happiness. And that time, the happiness which comes out, the happiness which manifests, is coming out of the self. It is my own happiness, but which was so far embedded behind the selfishness, behind the ego, behind very strong likes and dislikes. But now all of them have gone. Likes and dislikes have got neutralized, and the happiness gets manifest. And every time I feel good about myself, I rise in my self-esteem. So Lord Krishna says, this is a big siddhi. Lord Krishna says, when you serve, swakarmana tam abhyarchya, siddhim vindati manavaha. When you serve the world in this manner, world means whoever you come across. We need not go out to serve, big things. We may not do that. In our small life, in our small circle, in our small family, what is important is this attitude. It is with this attitude that I now perform my roles. And as we all know, with each and every role, there is a script. How should I play the role of mother? There is a script. The role of sibling, there is a script. Just as Lord Rama played each and every role that came in his life to the letter. He performed all the roles of son, of brother, each and of friend, each and every roles to the letter. Why? Because life is nothing but dharma. And what is this dharma? Yajna. It is this yajna bhavana, the spirit of offering which transforms us. As I said, there is a paradigm shift. My personality changes. So far, I was demanding, grabbing, consuming, greedy. And now I'm happy giving because I know that I am rich, richer than anyone can imagine. So each and every karma is used as a vehicle to spread love, to spread kindness, to spread friendliness. What can be better than this? This itself will give me joy. And this is how we perform our each and every karmas. Now, I had said in the beginning that karma has two facets. One is when you perform action, when you perform your rules. And with action is attached the result, karma phala. So now what should be the attitude when the result comes? See, when you perform the action, that time also your mind has something to say all the time. That commentary goes on. Why should I do this? Why am I, why this unfairness to me? What am I getting out of this? Constantly, mind will talk in this manner. Expert comments will come forth from the mind. All that we have to silence with the attitude of offering. Okay. Now when the result comes, as we all know, when the result, karma phala comes, that time also we have a lot to say. More often than not, we are not happy with the result which comes. Why? Because always we think it should have been better. I got less, others got more. Ishvara is not fair to me. In this manner, we keep on judging the result which comes. And when this happens, I'm not learning anything, not enjoying the result which has come, but am busy in judging, in commenting, and being unhappy. Whereas, now again, what should be the attitude when the result comes? The second facet of karma. When the result comes, Lord Krishna gives beautiful definition. He says, Sitya Sityo Samo Bhutva, Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. Just as while performing the karma, what was to be kept in mind? The spirit of offering, Yajna Bhavana. And that was skill in action. While performing action, what was the expertise? Yogaha karmasu kaushalam. For that, Lord Krishna gave the definition while performing the karma, when we are performing our actions, the definition that was given by him is Yogaha karmasu kaushalam. When you are performing your actions, the spirit of offering, yajna bhavana, which joins you with Ishvara, which joins you with your reality, the nature of the self, would be kushalata, would be expertise. Now, when the result comes, what is karma? When the result comes again, Lord Krishna gives beautiful definition of karma yoga. Samatvam yoga uchyate. See, samatvam. Samatvam means sameness of mind, equipoise of the mind towards all the results which are not the same. Results with samatvam, equipoise of the mind towards all the results which are different. And sometimes the result that comes before me is totally out of my expectations. And it is something which I never imagined. And it's just something which is too difficult for me to accept. Yes. But even at such times, again, go back to the reality of the self. What is it? I am full, I am complete. This is what the Shastra says, and this is my nature. In view of that nature of the self, which is already there, I'm already full, is there any scope for this kind of reactions towards phala, that it is not proper, that Ishvara has not been fair to me, the result is not to my expectations? No. Remember that nothing can add to the self, and nothing, no result whatever, can take away from the self. Keep this in mind. Nothing can be added to the Atma, the nature of the Atma, which is my very Swarupa, and nothing outside can take away something from here. So, regardless of what appears before me as a result, Atma remains the same. Atma is already full. Now, judge the result. Now, look upon the phala that has come. What should be our attitude? Lord Krishna says, prasada buddhi. Whatever has come whatever has come before you as result, look upon that as prasada from Ishvara. What is the attitude towards prasada? When we offer something to Ishvara, we offer naivedya to Ishvara, and then what we get is called prasada, which means it has come from the feet of the Lord. Whatever has come from the Lord is acceptable to me. I take it gracefully. In fact, it purifies me. It elevates me. Similarly, I bring to bear this attitude with respect to each and every karma phala in my life. And karma phala comes every moment. Karma phala, the results of action, are unfolding every moment. And if I don't keep my reality in my mind, then every moment I will have something to say about the result. But now the paradigm shift is what? Whatever is fine. Whatever is best. It has come as a result of my action, as a result of the name, because I offered my actions to Lord. I did it with the bhavana of offering. I gave it unto him, and now he is giving this to me. It is best for me. In fact, I am so full and complete that I don't need any result at all. We have already seen that Atma is in the position of giving. I am so full. There is no place for demanding. There is nothing. The attitude should be nothing but giving. And so the attitude towards the result also is what? It is fine. It is proper. Lord Krishna says in 13th chapter, Nityam cha samachittatvam ishta nishtopapattishu. There he gives this is one of the values to prepare the mind. Nityam cha samachittatvam. Always your chitta should be what? Must enjoy the sameness of mind, must enjoy the composure in the face of what? Ishta, Anishta. Ishta, Nishtopapattishu. When Ishta, which means desirable, appears before you, or undesirable appears before you. In short, if the situation is favorable or if it is unfavorable. But how do I welcome it? How do I look upon it? How do I, what kind of attitude do I have? It is fine. It is best. It could not have been better. Whatever Ishvara has decided for me, whatever he is giving to me is best for me. I have nothing to say. When I do this, my mind remains quiet. My mind remains composed. In fact, I learn when mind is composed. So you see, while performing actions, when the attitude is of offering, mind is learning, mind is serving, mind is quiet and contemplative. Every time when the spirit of offering is there, mind slowly but surely becomes contemplative. I think how best I can give. I will have the attitude of trying to find the best means to serve. So mind is not reacting as to why am I given this work? This is inferior. No, no such thing. And when the result comes, again, it is fine. It is best. So at both the times, while performing and while receiving, mind is quiet, composed, contemplative, and learning. And when mind enjoys this frame of mind, when mind enjoys this composure, knowledge is not far up. Knowledge that I am the self, I am fullness, I am of the nature of Ananda, Nitya, Shuddha, Buddha, Mukta Svabhavoham is not far up. Why? Because, as we said in the beginning, knowledge calls for a proper frame of mind. And by practicing Karma Yogi has achieved this frame of mind. While performing the action, while receiving the result, there is absolutely no reactions from him. He becomes the best servant of Ishvara, just as Hanumanji was. Whatever Lord Rama said, Rama Kaja Karibe ko Atura. In Hanuman Chalisa, we read this. He is always eager and ready to carry out the biddings of Lord Rama. Always waiting how best I can serve. Similarly, Karma Yogi, when he practices this attitude while performing the action as well as while receiving the result, in fact, he's happy with himself, and the happiness, which is the nature, begins to manifest. Knowledge is not far away. With this kind of mind, it is like a fuel meeting with fire. When the fuel is there and you light a matchstick and fire is right over there. Similarly, when this kind of mind is ready, knowledge that I am Brahman, what I am seeking is right there. In short, you are ready to own up your true nature. So, and there is no escaping this path. Nobody can say that I don't want to practice Karma Yoga. There is no escaping. If we want to evolve, if we want to progress in life, there is no other better means. So, we are indebted to the Shastra, to Upanishads, and to Lord Krishna, the master teacher in Bhagavadpada, for showing us this brilliant means to transform ourselves. So, Vasudeva Sutan Devam Kamsa Chanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagat. And today I also offer my salutations unto Sri Shankaracharya ji, Bhagwan Bhashyakara, for giving us, for writing the commentaries upon Prasthanatrayi and making our lives better, enlightening us. Thank you very much. Namaskaras to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Swamini, for that profound talk on the Karma Yoga. We learned that Karma Yoga is a way of life, and you told us how to lead this life so that we can change ourselves. And for that, the first thing we need to do is we have to own up the fullness we are. And we need to perform action with attitude, that is karma with bhavana. This will bring about a change and we need to play this day in and day out in all the roles we play. And also told us that this is a journey from being a consumer to a contributor. And Karma Yoga done with the spirit of yagna, the spirit of offering. And you also told us whenever we have this doubt as, if I serve everybody else, but who will serve me? We have to remember that I am that limitlessness, that fullness, the totality. And sincerely serving will bring us the samatvam that we all desire. That is, the mind is quiet, calm, and it becomes contemplative and moves towards the knowledge that I am what I am seeking.
One who serves also gets served. The niyati is like that.
Yes.
So there is nothing to lose by practicing Karma Yoga.
Yes.
If we want to be happy, there is no other path. All great people, all Mahatmas, all great leaders, whether they explicitly talked about this or not, but this is there in their lives. And this is the means to progress and evolve.
Yeah, thank you, Swamini, for that. So with that, we come to the end of today's session. And a gentle reminder on the next talk, that is tomorrow, 7 a.m. The topic is Truth Alone is Brahma Satyam by Swami Paramananda Saraswati ji. So see you all at 7 o'clock tomorrow. Thank you.